Which, by the way, a little side note here, as you're looking at chapter 30 and 31, the question could be asked, why? Why is it such a big deal that Jacob leave with his 2 wives and their 2 handmaids and his 13 children, and leave and go back down to his own father's and grandfather's promised covenant land? He's doing so well up there with Laban's lands. His flocks are multiplying like crazy. He's got all these physical blessings. Honestly, life would be easier if he could just stay in that comfort zone. He's got everything he needs, right? His family's there. He's got the prosperous farm and ranching that he's involved in. Why leave? To me, it harkens back to the beginning part of this episode with the ladder motif. At any stage, at any rung of that ladder, a person could make the argument, hey, I'm good. I've got what I need here. Life is good. I don't need to change anything. But I love the fact that God uses this analogy of a ladder because, like Joseph Smith taught, you have to begin at the beginning and you ascend rung by rung. You get to higher and higher levels. And I can't think of a better motif for covenantal connection with God than this whole idea of just because you've learned or experienced certain levels of blessings doesn't mean that the God of the universe doesn't have the capacity to give you even more. But it usually means you're going to have to leave, let go of a comfort zone and go back out into a wilderness where you have to trust God completely for your physical as well as your spiritual well-being and safety on the way, on that covenant path. And that's what I see is this story of him returning back down to the lands of his fathers, is you have to trust God. And God called him to leave. It wasn't him. Jacob didn't come up with this idea. No. It was God who said, I need you to leave.
Yeah. And some of the times I think we're climbing this ladder and we're thinking life is good, but God has so much more that he wants to give us, because the goal of temple experiences is not just to make covenants, although that's critically important. The goal of temple experiences is to become as God is, to enter God's presence. And when he was in Bethel, he was watching others go up and down, right? Mm-hmm. But he was still on the earth. He needs to make that journey for himself, and that's what I think this experience in Haran is doing.